Welcome to She's in the Weeds.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Hollis.
We're best friends exploring the intersection of pop culture and the female experience.
Be sure to follow us on socials and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, give us that 5-star review.
Nailed it?
I think it's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're back.
Hey, whackers.
Hey, whackers. I keep forgetting.
The old weed whackers. Well, we got to be careful how much we say weed because we were trending as a marijuana podcast. And we really had to fix that with our SEO. So, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a marijuana podcast.
Right. We're just
not our target audience.
Yeah. So the stoners aren't exactly our target audience, I don't think.
I mean, there could be a stone man who's enlightened by our feminist takes.
There very much could be. Who knows? So I have kind of a funny story. I actually have 2 things to say about Wheel of Fortune last night.
I have 2 things to say.
I have 2 things to say, and then the podcast will be over. So I was watching Wheel of Fortune last night with my 6-year-old, and the puzzle answer was win Best Picture at the Oscars. And so my 6-year-old's sitting there, and she's trying to figure it out, and I get it, and I say it. And she's like, Oscars? And I said, yeah, it's an awards, like an award show for movies. And she goes, oh yeah, I've seen it. I go, oh, you have? And she goes, yeah, when they cut that woman open.
What?
And I'm like, what? And I'm thinking like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, when they cut that woman open? And she goes, yeah, and then that guy came out of her. And I was like, what? And then I was like, Conan, The Substance, when they did that skit at the beginning of the Oscars. That was the first year she sat down to watch it with us, and she got scared. She was like, I don't want to watch this. So now
forever.
Conan coming out of a female corpse is a core memory for my 6-year-old. So
He would love that, probably.
oh my gosh. So,
That's so funny.
follow the podcast if you want any more parenting tips from me on how to traumatize your 6-year-old.
I know, you never see it coming. What's going to traumatize your child? And it's the Oscars.
Oh, dear.
Well, don't let her watch The Substance for real.
We'll have to put that one on the shelf
Also,
for a few years.
Conan dressed up as that character from the one movie I didn't watch on the Oscars with orange hair and the big glasses.
Oh, from Weapons?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. I know Sinners won a lot, and she won for Weapons, that actress, I believe.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. I know I talked about this a little bit before, and I didn't really watch much of the Oscars this year. I watched a few clips, but I am glad to see the landscape for horror changing because it's been a long time coming. There's a lot of really good films being made, and they deserve to be in the mix.
Yeah.
They're just as significant as every other category, and it's been completely underrepresented for a long time. And I love that Sinners was not only a horror movie, but a mostly Black cast, which is great. And so much deserved, and happy to see that. The other thing I need to say about Wheel of Fortune, which I just thought this was kind of funny, is the girl who won goes to the bonus round. And, they always introduce like the people that they bring with them. They're like, oh, who do you have over here? And she says, this is my patient and wonderful partner, Craig, and my very close friend, Randy.
Patient? My very close friend, Randy?
So it's 2 men. And she made it a point to say, this is my patient and wonderful partner, Craig, and my very close friend, Randy.
Weird.
It was a strange dynamic.
Are you a cult leader? Like, are these cult members that you've tracked?
And I mean, I don't know. Maybe who knows? I mean,
sounds
no judgment on whatever kind of relationship dynamic was going on there, but it was definitely a little bit like, wait, are you with both of these men? Like, what is happening here?
Very special friend is usually code for I don't know what, but
and of like all of the people in your life, your very close male friend Randy was the only one who could come all the way to California with you and your partner Craig.
Would you say partner or patient?
She said, this is my patient and wonderful partner Craig.
What does patient mean?
That's what I'm saying. It was almost like she was saying like, oh, he's so patient because he puts up with me hanging out with my very close friend Randy all the time.
This is my patient, comma. When you said patient, I was thinking like She was her therapist. I was like, my patient.
Adjective. No.
Okay.
No.
The way you said it, I was like, her patient? What is
No. Sorry.
Who brings
As
her-
an adjective.
Got it.
This is my patient and wonderful partner, Craig,
Got
and
it.
my very close friend, Randy. And then Randy ran up and gave her a big old hug.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me. My very close friend Randy. Poor Randy. Randy's probably been in love with her his whole life.
Oh, for
And
sure.
he's just
100%.
playing second fiddle, and he's like, as long as I can just gaze at you all day, I'll
Right.
be your very close friend.
So anyway, I was like, what's happening here? Good thing Craig is so patient. So yeah, I hadn't seen that one before on Wheel of Fortune, and I mean, yeah, for sure, Randy has been upset to be friend zoned.
Yeah.
For many years, I think.
Poor Randy. That seems like a Randy role, you know? I feel like most Randys get the
Yeah,
get the shaft.
I think so too.
Or they have sick mullets. One or the other.
For sure. Oh, Randy. Anyway, the other update that I have is, for those of you who've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know that I have been dead set on trying to instill some of our German traditions into our lives. And so last year I made a lamb cake, the Osterlamb. It's a German tradition where you make a cake in a lamb mold shaped like a lamb for Easter. And the kids liked it, you know. I mean, they weren't like singing its praises for months and months afterward, but yeah, they were into it. I'm like, okay, this might be something we'll do. So then my 6-year-old brings home this thing that she did at school where they make these little books about spring, you know. They draw a picture and they write a little sentence. On the last page, she wrote, "In the spring, I can taste my mom's lamb cake." And she drew a picture of it.
Aww.
And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
okay.
You did remember. All right, lamb cake it is.
So
Every year for the
another
rest of your
core
life.
memory. We have Conan rising up out of the female corpse, and we
Hey.
have the lamb cake.
I mean, I'd say that pretty much evens out.
Yeah.
I think that knocks Conan out.
I think
the
so,
lamb
too.
Cake.
So
Wow, good enough for her to write a book about it.
I know. So we will be making lamb cake every year.
Nice. Oh, that has to feel good.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It was exciting. So
Making core memories.
Yeah.
All right.
those are my updates.
Do you frost the lamb cake?
So traditionally, it's powdered sugar.
Oh,
You just
right,
like
'cause
dust.
it looks like a lamb.
Yeah, you're dusting the powdered sugar on it. Now
And
I
you're
thought,
dusting and you're dusting.
yes, I thought it would be fun to pipe wool onto the lamb. You know, I thought about
That'd be
doing that
fun.
last year. Time got away from me.
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to. So yeah, we'll see. I think we'll stick with the powdered sugar for now, but
That's fun. Oh, I love traditions.
yeah,
Fun.
yeah.
I'm fully on board. Well, I have officially resigned to being old because I can no longer stay up late. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't either.
Dude, I took on some freelance projects, and like I used to when I was in college could just be like, all right, I'm procrastinating. I'm just going to stay up all night. And I had convinced myself like I do my best work at night. I do my best work when I'm like on crunch time, which was true for a while.
Right.
I wrecked myself. I was like, I cannot stay up and work after I work a day at my at my full-time job and then come back and stay up till 1 a.m. working. I destroyed myself, and it took me like a full week of like going to bed at 9 to like get
recover.
back. Yeah. I just can't do it
know.
anymore.
I can't do it either.
Oh my goodness, crazy.
I know.
And I'm just like, that's just life now. I just have to be a normal person and like time manage.
Yeah.
And not procrastinate. My twilight is approaching and my yesteryears are gone. And you know, I am coming up on a birthday, 38,
Yeah.
and it's hitting me hard.
Yeah.
Harder than
Than you
birthdays.
thought.
Well, in like 30s birthdays, I was just like, whatever, 30s are great. And now I'm like, oh man.
They're coming to a close.
Yeah, shoot. So I think that also had something to do with it too. I was like, oh man, the age is setting in.
Yeah.
Mid-30s, I was like feeling some of the things people were talking about, but I was like, whatever, I'm still young.
I'm a spring chicken.
And I'm like, but it's not true. I refuse to be one of those people that's just like, I'm old, sorry.
Yeah. No, I know.
I just have to like prioritize my time better.
Yeah.
And like set realistic expectations for myself
Right. Yeah.
and my goals.
I know. I know. And like it is hard to like work on something for a little while, set it aside. Work on something for a little while, set it aside.
Dude,
I know.
I've never been that way. I've always been like, I'll just bust it out. I'll just spend 8 hours and I'll just bust it out.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, it's so much healthier if you just spend an hour or two every night.
Right.
You accomplish the same thing and you don't ruin yourself. It's taken me 38 years to figure that out.
Time management skills, I think, are one of the things that literally most people struggle with, and it is so hard.
It is, yeah.
I do this even just like my day-to-day life with, okay, I have this housework that needs to get done, these bills that need to be paid, I need to make this appointment, I need to do this with the kids, I need to do this for the podcast, I need to do this. And it's like, even just that, it's hard for me to organize my day.
Yeah.
Because there will be days where I'm like, like with the kids' clothes where I was talking about, where it's like, okay, I didn't plan on doing that today. I didn't have to do that today. This is where I struggle. Like, and I don't know if this is just part of my personality, but yeah, it's like I did that with the shirt. Like I put the shirt on the kid and I was like, the shirt's too small. And I was like, I need to do this. I didn't necessarily need to prioritize that thing for right then, but there's something in my brain that clicks where I'm like, I have to do this now.
Yeah, I must get it done.
And then there went my entire day, and I had so many other things that were more important than that.
Yeah.
Why am I doing that right now? I latch on to things.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for me to like let go of it or take a second to be like, wait, how important is this thing? What else was I trying to get done today?
Yeah, prioritization is like the biggest hurdle in time management.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is worth spending 4 hours on? I do that at work all the time. If I budget 2 hours to work on something, but then I use that 2 hours and it's not to the point I need it, I think it
you
should
don't
be,
want to stop.
I'm like, I can't stop.
No,
it
I know.
has to be the best it can be. I can't just like
No, I know.
quit now and it's not perfect.
No, I know.
And then I end up spending 5 more hours on it and I'm like, well, crap.
I know.
I have no more hours left.
There's no more hours, and it's not any better than it was.
But that is the key, is realizing that like if you don't stop, it's not going to get any better.
It's like
just
the
gonna
bun.
Yes. It's just, yeah.
Don't take the bun down.
Yes.
Because every time you
The
do it, it's
first
a
bun
little
is
worse.
always the best. Yeah,
No.
just go with it. And like the difference between like just making something different, not improving it. It's
Right.
just another version. It's
I
not
know.
better,
Right.
you know? But by the fourth one, it's worse.
Right. I know. Well, one of these days we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out,
One
yeah.
of these days.
Probably when I'm like 65 and ready to retire,
You'll have it figured out.
I'll be really good at my job.
There you go. Okay, so obviously, like the big news right now is West and Amanda. By the time this comes out, a week will have passed. So we'll just
Well, that's okay.
put that up there. How much do you know? Just what I told you?
Yeah, because I have not been really on social media a lot. And when you told me that, I was like, ooh, I almost just went, but I was like, no, I'm going to wait.
Okay, so we talked about this a couple of episodes ago when the rumors first started flying. And like, I guess open mouth, insert foot, because I really didn't believe it.
Me too. I thought for sure that was just like, you
BS.
know, classic
Yeah.
online rumor.
But here's the thing, too, is that I don't necessarily know why at this point. I think history has kind of proven where there's smoke, there's fire with these situations. You know, I mean, there's lots of times when we hear cheating rumors or hookup rumors in the reality TV world, a lot of times it ends up being true.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
This was just one where there were so many reasons why you wouldn't think so.
I know. I really didn't think Amanda would do that to Sierra.
Yeah, one of the number one being Sierra. I think I said that. I was like, there's no way, even if Wes would do it, Amanda never would.
I know. So Snarkbait did like an emergency press conference and said both Amanda and West were completely silent on social media and that they had it on good authority that they were about to post a joint statement, like confirming the rumors.
Wow.
So they did. The statement is so weird.
Also, it's like, they're literally just hanging out and making
There's
out?
no confirmation that they're necessarily together as a couple,
Yeah.
but it's very we. It's
Yeah.
very strange. And then all of these things start coming out about how West is like also hooking up with all of these other girls.
Yeah.
No one knows for sure. Are they actually a couple? Are they just like hooking up? People are speculating, like, did things start last summer? Because now everybody's watching the show, like we did with Scandival,
right? And
being
he's,
like,
yeah, and he's like coming to her, like,
oh
being
yeah,
so in defense of her.
And the one thing I saw that was really compelling is they showed the clip, and like, this is one thing I love about the internet. I'm just like, this is so great. Somebody posted the clip when they're playing Spin the Bottle, and West starts getting all like touchy-feely with Sierra. It's right after Amanda and Kyle kiss. And people are like, it was going on, and he was jealous, and he was trying to make her jealous.
Oh, that's very sleuthy.
Yes.
Also, a stretch, but not impossible.
Who knows? But yeah, like all of the going back and like analyzing all these clips, just like we did with Scandival, you know, and I'm sure that the editors have gone in to like kind of highlight some of this stuff. So then last night, Kyle posted a video of his dog literally licking his tears. Okay. And then today I saw an on the street interview with him, and he was expressing a lot of concern for Amanda, saying, yeah, we've been in contact. I've talked to her. I'm just like really concerned. You know, she struggles with mental health, and, you know, she's really getting pulled through the ringer right now. So I just really hope people are thinking twice before going and like cyberbullying. He's like, what about Wes? And he's like, you know, he sent me some half-assed word salad text message. I haven't really, you know, whatever. And then the guy was like, do you think there was something going on last summer? And he's like, you know, I don't have a good handle on the timeline right now, but as things keep coming out and the more information I get and the more I reflect on things, he's like, I don't know. You know, I kind of wrote it off as like, you know, it's just a friendship. Like, that's just how she is. You know, she's kind of that way with all the guys. I mean, he kind of alluded to the fact that
there was some flirtation.
There could have been something going on. He wasn't confirming anything. He doesn't know for sure, but yeah. So it is interesting. And people are speculating that they had seen them out together and stuff as early as December of last year. And her and Kyle didn't officially separate till mid-January. So it's like, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it all seems like blown a little bit out of proportion, the reaction. On one hand, because I feel like I don't really care about Kyle.
No, I know.
Yeah, like who? No, and I think that is like a double standard with men and women. That was just like, well, whatever. The relationship on that side was
because we've also seen, we care about Sierra because we've seen Kyle, especially these last two episodes, his abhorrent behavior.
Yeah.
You know, and we were all rallying behind Amanda because of the way Kyle speaks to her and treats her. I think he could benefit from some anger management therapy.
He's not very emotionally mature.
Right.
And not ready, obviously, for a committed marriage, at least not the one that he signed on to with Amanda.
Exactly.
So that relationship obviously needed to end.
Yeah.
If Amanda and Sierra weren't friends, I don't think anybody would give a shit.
No, I don't either. Because Kyle and West are kind of new friends.
Right, exactly.
They're not
and it's like, it's like guy code.
And they're friends for the show. It's not like they have a history of a friendship. It's not like him and Carl.
Yes.
You know?
And there is a gender difference and stereotype there too, whether it is fair or not, that like guys, like, sure, you don't do that with, you know, you don't hook up with your friends' exes, but it's not as strict a code as it is with females.
Right.
Like, it is like, I would never in a million years. I mean, and this is the thing that sucks about this is like, Amanda and West aren't going to make it.
No.
They're going to blow up.
They've blown up their entire lives.
For hookup?
Yes,
like,
right. Exactly.
This is the thing about reality television that is so weird. The Southern Charm people do it too. It's so incestuous. Yeah. Amanda, you're hot, you're famous, you could literally date anybody.
There's 7 billion people on the planet.
You're going to ruin all of your friendships and apparently all of your brand deals, which, like, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
For this stupid, like, rebound fling?
I know.
I mean, not worth it.
Here's the thing. All of these men they're all West. They're all the same.
I know,
now, some of them are more nefarious. The Craigs, the Jaxes, the James Kennedys. Some of them, yes. But, like, the Sheps, the Austins, the Wests, they're all the same.
He is not the person you risk your entire life for. That's for sure.
I think one thing we are kind of leaving out here in terms of West's nefariousness is not so much what he did to Kyle, but what he did to Sierra and
100%.
using her as collateral, which he did.
Yeah, and that is the thing, like, and this is what sucks for Amanda and sucks on Amanda's behalf, is that, like, it's not just, oh, he used to date my friend. He dated my friend and used her.
Yes.
And treated her very poorly.
Very poorly.
It's just a lower blow, I feel like.
Absolutely.
If you were Sierra.
And one thing I will say for him that I have enjoyed in terms of, like, him being on reality TV is he's very outspoken politically and and that's something we don't see a lot. And it's something that him and Sierra had in common.
Yeah.
They both stand up for what they believe in. That's rare in this job. A lot of people keep their mouth shut because I think they're afraid to, like,
worried about
how people are going to react. So that's something I've appreciated about him. You know, he seems to be an ally in a lot of ways. You know, he's outspoken about ICE. But one thing, because, you know, Sierra was very outspoken on the show about dealing with criticism of, like, letting these white guys treat her like this.
Yeah.
And for him to have that conversation with her and, like, be an active participant in that conversation and then to do this, that sucks.
It says he knows that would hurt her.
Yeah.
They both know that, like, a real true friend, somebody, and because those girls had, like, a tight kinship. Sierra's been pretty obvious about, like, specifically why she was so hurt.
Yeah.
And it's giving. We know this would hurt you, but we're choosing what we want over that, which at the end of the day, like, that's gonna ruin a friendship.
No, for sure.
You know, it's putting your immediate wants over hurting me to irreparable
and
place.
your immediate wants to hook up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, even Sierra said you can't help who you love. And she's talking about West. So I think she was very much in love with him. I was duped and fooled because I thought he was in love with her too. I really did.
Yeah.
But I get, like, sometimes, like, you can't help who you love. So, like, if you're gonna do this, you better be damn sure. This better be the love of your life.
And that's what I mean. And I don't think either of them feel that way.
No, and I think that statement proves that. Even though it's a very weird, like, we statement, it's not a we're together. Yeah. We're moving forward with a relationship.
We moved into this because we feel that strongly.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I think because if that was the case, you think maybe one of them would have approached one of the other people in the situation. It's also so fresh. Like, it hasn't been that long. I mean, I guess, how long ago was it that Sierra and West were in a, like,
it's been a couple years. That's been 2-3 summers ago now.
I guess it just feels newer. It feels newer because of the show.
Yeah, and because we're watching them kind of what you think is them maybe rekindling things on this current season. Yeah. And now we're thinking, like, wait, was she just a decoy?
Yeah, it just surprises me that, like, Amanda wouldn't have brought it up in any capacity to Sierra and been like, hey, there might be something there. Like, can we talk about this?
Which means that she must have known that Sierra still had real feelings for West. Yeah. Otherwise, I would think she would have.
Right.
You know? So
yeah,
she
if it was really dead in the water.
If it was really dead in the water and she thought there was a good chance that Sierra wouldn't give a shit if she was just honest with her about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and because the hurt comes from Amanda, not that, like, oh, you have him and I don't. Because I don't think Sierra really had. I think she had finally gotten to a place where she was like, listen, yeah, maybe there was something, but no, like, he's just not the guy for me.
Well, it's interesting you say that because
it's more like a friendship betrayal where it's just like,
yes,
is everything
100%.
You tell me, was it all a lie?
I know.
Like,
well, and I've seen a lot of
going on here.
Yeah, who knows? If Amanda had gone to Sierra, maybe. And I don't know. Maybe she just didn't because sometimes, who knows? Sometimes people thrive in the secrecy and the chaos. I don't know. Yeah. But the other thing I've been seeing a lot, which you just mentioned, like I have him and you don't, is there's been so much talk online about we've never seen Amanda single. And, you know, she came into the summer house as Kyle's essentially booty call. Remember, he would just like call her to come to the house, and he was like hooking up with all these different girls, and then finally made her his girlfriend and kind of treated her like crap for a long time, cheated on her how many times, and then she still married him and all this stuff. And there's all these people saying Amanda is a pick-me. She is male-centric. She's a pick-me. And the second she was done with Kyle, she needed a man to validate her. And West was like the next in line. Was right there. Yeah. And I guess like people are saying a thing with pick-me girls is this thing where it's like, he wasn't going to commit and change for you, but he will for me. Yeah. And she needed to like scratch that itch.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Oh man.
And I hear that. I see that. I hate to think that because
that's also again making a huge assumption about someone we don't know. It's a very parasocial relationship where you all want to like project one narrative on somebody.
That's what's so interesting about parasocial relationships because we don't know these people. We also don't know like we've talked about this so many times, like reality versus production, all these things. Summer House was very organic in the early days because like it was a group of friends like Vanderpump. They were all friends that had been doing this Summer House, together for years before they started filming the show. And so, there's some real history there. But it's like, we don't know these people, but we have seen these patterns, and it is interesting. It really is. And I think, too, and this is kind of what we talked about with Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and I think all of these things, like, tie together. What kind of fiduciary responsibility does the network have when they knew that happened, and they put her on the show, and then they cancel the premiere after the video comes out? You have the Jax Taylors, who we think was eventually forced off by production. We still don't know 100% the story behind that. We have now this Summer House scandal, which is blowing up very similarly to Scandival, huge media phenomenon. And like you have, and again, these are rumblings. Like, I don't know how much of this is substantiated, but it's like, apparently the network is thinking about canceling Summer House and In the City. I'm like, wait, what?
That's insane.
Because they think there's going to be so much fan backlash and blowback that that they need to cancel the series. Amanda had a brand deal that launched, I think, the day, if not the day before they released the statement confirming the rumors. And it was this photo shoot she did for, I can't remember the name of the brand, but these kind of like scantily clad photos, and she was kind of leaning into her marijuana persona. She had a joint in some of the pictures, and this whole spread photo shoot brand deal. As soon as the statement was released, the brand deleted the campaign, dropped the endorsement.
That's crazy. For what?
And I just, it's interesting because it speaks to like this bigger picture of like, what's the difference between like a liability issue, a moral issue, and then just kind of like fan opinion.
Exactly. And the stakes are so much higher for women.
Yes.
You don't see this doesn't happen to men.
Right.
Men aren't going out and dating somebody, married or not.
Right.
And there being rumblings on the internet and then getting their brand deals revoked.
Not
like,
really.
Because women by society are like given these moral standards that are impossible to uphold.
Yes.
It's like any crack in anything, they're just like, oh, well, you're not morally representative anymore. Like,
right.
It's so unfair and just impossible. Like,
it is. And I think, and I get that it's a different animal, but it made me think too about the situation with David Harbour and Lily Allen, because I get that it's not reality TV. We're not watching their real lives, but like nobody canceled Stranger Things. Nobody canceled DTF St. Louis.
Was his personal life.
Yeah.
They treated it like, no, that's his.
And I'm not saying he didn't get dragged a little bit. He did, and people were talking about it, but it blew over in like one day. He's not losing his brand deals because of it.
There's no professional repercussions for it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's fine for like rumblings to happen, for people to have opinions,
Yeah.
And for the
It's a little
for the
strange.
networks to be like, we're pulling the show. This is what you want. This is like more publicity for you. I mean, that is crazy.
I know. And again, I don't know how much of that is true, but I guess like that was part of the crew reaction too, like the cast reaction. Like they're pissed because they're afraid that because there's been
everything.
Yeah, they're gonna lose the shows.
Yeah, this just seems like I get Sierra has every right to be hurt, and like
Yes.
for sure, but it's also like, and that's the thing about reality television where I feel like, okay, maybe it's slightly a scandal, but it's not as big a scandal as it is being made out to be.
No,
I don't
and
think.
neither was Scandival.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the
I
thing
know.
about reality television is like everybody dramatizes these things,
Right.
Because it's something to talk about,
Right.
But when it starts to like bleed into these people's professional lives, where like now her brand deal is falling through.
Well, and that's what's so interesting about reality TV, because their personal and professional lives, the lines are blurred.
Yeah,
They are. And I do, here's the thing. Like, obviously a brand has the right to like cut ties with somebody for whatever reason
but
they
do
want.
they? I feel like that should be written in a contract that like
well, there
once
might
it's said and done. I mean, maybe it is written in the contract that they can pull out anytime they want. But like if you make brand deals, there should be something in your contract that says after a certain date you can't just pull the plug.
I know for sure Bravo and the Housewives have this, at least the Housewives franchise has a morality clause. It basically says we can fire you or let you go at any point for behavior that we don't agree with or doesn't align with the network.
That's risky.
So I would imagine that when brands do deals with celebrities, maybe they have morality clauses, because especially in this time of like cancel culture and stuff, when like you don't know what people are going to say, or like, so who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
And it doesn't mean that Amanda didn't get paid for it.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
at the end of the day, if you got paid for it.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I do find it interesting though. I mean, and I guess the company is woman founded and owned. So she's in the sisterhood, just, supporting Sierra. And it speaks to this bigger picture of like, where are we with all of this stuff?
Yeah.
And like, what does this mean for the future of reality TV? Like, and it all ties together. And, we talked about this a little bit with Jax, and then we kind of touched on it again with Taylor Frankie Paul. Like, at what point do you have sympathy for somebody who's clearly going through a lot, has likely been, in this generational cycle of abuse and turmoil, and is clearly struggling with their mental health? Like, at what point do you have sympathy for a situation? And at what point do you essentially demonize somebody and say, no, this is just who you are. This is just your character, which I think is kind of where we got with Jax, where it's like, you know what?
You've
like,
had so many chances.
Yeah. And then you have somebody like Taylor Frankie Paul, who is out here doing abhorrent things. But at the same time, like, we do have a little more sympathy for her because of her situation. These things are nuanced, but it's also like, where do we draw the line? You know?
And it goes back to, the Margaret Atwood conversation too, of like, do we treat every case individually and have different rules for everyone based on things like their past and their experiences and their mental capabilities? Or do we have a system in which we provide everyone the same benefit and treat everyone with the same set of rules? And like, there's arguments to be made on both sides.
There is. And also, obviously we're talking about domestic violence and some of the things that Jax did, that those are more serious than cheating and hooking up with your friends' obviously. But when you look at the way in which Sandoval was demonized, you would think he beat somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
and
like,
he had a pretty clean record before that.
Yeah, he was annoying, but he wasn't. Yeah,
being annoying was his worst crime, honestly.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I think he was maybe a serial cheater, but like,
sure, but like literally everybody was on that show.
Yes, exactly. I know.
That's not even a crime anymore. It's just like that is what they do on that show,
right? And like, when you think about, and now I know they denied this, till their days end and probably will take it to their grave. But like, it's not all that different than the Shep, Austin, Taylor, and Green of it all.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
They did the same thing on Southern Charm.
It takes Austin a lot of balls to come out and say something like, you treated Sarah like shit too, my man.
Yes, he did. And you know what else is funny? They were talking about it on Disrespectfully, Dana and Katie, a little bit. And it was so funny. Katie's talking, I'm like, you did the same thing. Because it was almost the exact same scenario. When she was fresh out of her marriage, of her separation with Tom, she slept with
Tom,
Max,
his best
who
friend.
who was Tom's friend, who was Dana's ex-situationship.
Yeah.
Like, they're all doing it.
They're all hypocrites.
They're all doing it. And yes, are they all a little different? Sure. Do they
but
all have their own little nuances? Are the complexities complexing a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure.
But
But
no,
at
it's
the
all
end of the
generally the same
day,
thing.
even Scandival, all 4 of those situations are very similar.
Right. And I also think, I do have a theory that, like, if you get out of a long-term relationship, I've never been married, but I would imagine even a marriage, you're
popping off.
You're going to the most explosive thing you can find.
Probably, yeah.
Just because it's thrilling and you've been in the same thing forever. It's like a moth to a flame where it's just like, I must find the most exciting, thrilling thing I possibly can. I don't care what the repercussions are.
I know.
Like, that's how badly I just need to, like,
feel something.
Feel something. Feel alive. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And like, listen, I don't want to like minimize what happened to Sierra. There's literally nothing worse than your super, super good friend doing something like that to you. I can't imagine something worse. But just speaking to the larger picture of this has happened in almost every franchise.
Yeah.
Of these shows. And like, it's just interesting how these things take on a life of their own and really
I'm
evolve.
curious to see how bright this one burns.
Yeah.
If this one will like
the reunion is going to be lit.
I can't believe they haven't filmed the reunion
If
yet.
somebody, they better not pull some crap where like so-and-so's not.
I'm not filming with them.
Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh. Andy won't let that fly.
Hopefully not.
This will be iconic TV if it happens.
Yeah. But yes, let us not forget Scandival, Austin, Shep, Taylor Ann Green, Katie, Dana, Tom, Max. And now we have West, Amanda, Kyle, Sierra. So let it be known.
I also just
This is not a new thing.
We said it before. I also just love too that like nobody is giving two
shits about Kyle. No, I know.
No one cares.
No one cares. Sorry, Kyle. Kyle doesn't need us. He's handling it just fine.
He's just fine, yeah.
He's fine.
I know. I'm not saying he deserves it. 'Cause,
No,
like,
I know.
You don't.
Right.
But it's just funny.
And another thing I find interesting about all this too, which of course we have talked about so many times, whenever there's like a skeeting channel, a skeeting channel, whenever there's a skeeting channel, it's always the woman that gets dragged and treated horribly and apparently loses brand deals. And I mean, obviously, as we know now, this wasn't a cheating scandal as of today. And it's not that West isn't getting heat. He is.
But
absolutely. But not as much. And it will always be that way, I feel like, till the end of time. But I wonder that too, when we talked about like the Taylor Frankie Paul stuff, and like there was that comment of like, okay, ABC canceled The Bachelorette. Like, are we going to cancel football season?
Right.
Like, when are we going to start holding men accountable in the same way? And like, it's interesting because I feel like there's a couple of double standards happening there. Like almost also one in reverse, because we talk about how men don't get held accountable, and they definitely are more now in a post Me Too era. Like, we are clocking these things. There are, being some consequences, like maybe they're getting suspended, I know there's been some progress and some change. But it's like, yeah, a woman does it and like immediately it's just like cancel everything. And also too, I wonder, like, do we have more sympathy for Taylor Frankie Paul just because she's a woman as opposed to somebody like a Jax?
I know, I was kind of thinking that before too, where it's just like,
maybe
she's also been physically violent on multiple occasions,
right? And
we said that was the worst of worst with Jax.
I know. I wonder that too. And like, yeah, I suppose that's a double standard, but it's like, I think we expect it of men.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily expect it out of women. And I mean, men have just been terrorizing women for so long. If I have more sympathy for her just because she's a woman, so be it. Sorry.
I know. It's hard not to take history into account again.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me too, like with what the Frankie situation is like. It
Too many names.
Taylor,
Frankie, Paul. TFP.
TFP. It's hard for me, and this also may be my bias as a woman. It's hard for me to see violence from a woman as simply aggression and not some sort of self-defense.
Right.
Like,
I know.
that it wasn't provoked in some way, or that she wasn't like a reaction to something. And I'm not saying it's right.
Right.
And
I
I'm
know.
not saying I clearly understand that is probably a bias, because there's nothing, I have no evidence to say that she didn't just like kind of lose it.
No,
and
I know.
be the complete and total aggressor.
Yeah, I know.
But it's hard for me to not think that like in that situation,
No, I know.
there wasn't something that happened that led to that. And that's the thing. I think I brought this up not so eloquently the last time we talked about the TFP situation. That like this is also historically I like
how you chose the middle name of all the names.
Frankie.
The Frankie.
not even Paul.
Not Taylor. Not Paul. But Frankie. It's the easiest one to remember. For some reason, it's the one that sticks out. Frankie.
She also kind of seems like a Frankie.
A little bit, yeah.
Frankie personality.
Yeah.
What was my point?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Something about bringing it up so eloquently the last time.
But what was I talking about?
About when we're being biased because we don't know for sure.
I don't know.
I'm
We're
sorry.
talking for long anyway. No, it's
Oh, well.
okay. I probably wasn't going to be eloquent about it this time either.
But anyway, all of that to say,
Yeah.
I do think maybe we are finally in a spot for a true reality TV reckoning. Like, it's time to start being more responsible with our choices as far as the networks go and really taking on more of a fiduciary responsibility. I really think like something's got to change in terms of like not putting these people that are vulnerable into these situations. And like, I get sometimes like nobody probably knew with Jax that was going to turn into that. But at a certain point as it progresses, you know, like things need to happen.
Sure.
Decisions need to be made. I feel like with Taylor, Frankie, Paul, that was just like a bomb waiting to explode. I mean,
they were videotaping her for 4 years.
Yeah.
Just kind of like on the cusp of unhingedness.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
And that's the thing too, where it's just like, what are they supposed to do? Step in and be like, you really need to go to therapy? Especially a show like Mormon Wives. They're all like, if anyone can learn from my story,
I know.
that's great. But at what point are we spreading awareness, and what point are we exploiting these people?
And where is the line? Maybe it's a situation like we didn't used to have intimacy coordinators on sets.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a situation where that's somebody's job.
Yeah, a contract employee to be like,
Yes,
hey,
to be like,
they've had enough. They need to sit this one out.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's a role that needs to
or
be
like,
created
maybe
for networks.
they all need to see a counselor beforehand, middle, and after to be like, hey, let's check in. Like, what's going on in your
Offering
life?
counseling services, offering mental health care. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the network moves forward with the shows. I mean, I'll be very surprised if they cancel the shows. I mean, I don't know. And it'll be interesting to see where Wes and Amanda end up. I can't wait for the reunion.
Yeah.
So,
well, they're probably not going to be together at the reunion. Like, yeah, it's over. Sorry.
Oh,
We blew
yeah.
it all up.
Right.
We just wanted to get naked for a couple months. Sorry, guys.
Right. Yeah. Oh, dear. Okay.
Right, well, should we get in the weeds after getting in the weeds?
Let's get in the weeds after getting in the weeds. Yeah, okay. So this is a pop culture archives where we open the vault and look back on our favorite movies, shows, and pop culture phenomenons of yesteryear.
That's right. We are doing that. And this week we are doing Never Been Kissed.
Which we told you last week. That was your chance to watch it.
And speaking of pick-me's, this is like the ultimate pick-me movie. I mean, pretty much all rom-coms are. I mean, at this day and age, we all know that like most rom-coms are just like over-idealized concept of romance, and it usually ends up with the woman being like, pick me for love. This is a prime example.
Absolutely.
But also a really great one.
A really great one.
Super fun, funny. 1999 is the first film of Drew Barrymore's production company, Flower Films.
Okay, interesting.
And 1999 was a huge year.
Huge.
For
absolutely huge.
For film in general, movies in general, but also rom-coms. Rom-coms in 1999, 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That, Cruel Intentions, Notting Hill, Runaway Bride, Drop Dead Gorgeous, just movies in general. The Matrix, Fight Club, The Green Mile, The Sixth Sense, The Mummy, American Pie. Forgot to mention that in the teenage movies, but a huge
banger
year.
After banger after banger.
Yeah, this is the greatest year for film of all time, 1999.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Also, a very stacked cast, Never Been Kissed.
Absolutely, which I had kind of forgotten.
Yeah, because a lot of these big names are kind of smaller supporting roles.
Yes.
Drew Barrymore, of course, plays Josie Geller. Main character. She's 24. The actress, Drew Barrymore, is 24 in this film.
Okay.
I'm going to list the ages of a lot of these actors because age is a big theme in this movie.
Yes.
So, Drew Barrymore, she's 24. Her romantic counterpoint is Michael Vartan, who plays Sam Coulson. He's 30.
Okay.
Molly Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Really great role. Anita. She's 34. So 10 years older than Drew Barrymore. David Arquette. 27. It is Jessica Alba and James Franco film debut.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Alba is 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. James Franco's 20.
I remember Jessica Alba was in it. I had forgotten James Franco.
Yeah.
But that's because he's big. I mean,
he's really
small role.
He has very few lines,
yes,
too.
Yes.
Yeah. John C. Reilly, who's great. He's 33. Octavia Spencer, again, a small role, but like, she's in there, yeah. And Lily Sobieski.
Okay, so I was going to do this and I forgot because I'm like, she just disappeared.
Yes.
Did you do some research on that? Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Lily Sobieski is also 16 in this movie. She was a actress in movies long before that, so she did a lot of child actress roles. Yeah. But yeah, just a few fun facts about the film before we get into the scenes and stuff. So James Franco and Jessica Alba film debut. Lily Sobieski was actually offered the role of Kirsten, who is one of the popular girls, played by Jessica Alba, but she turned it down and chose the role of Aldous because she thought it was more interesting.
Well, and it is.
Yeah, it's very true. And also, so Lily Sobieski was like coming up bigger and bigger parts. Her bubble was about to burst, and then she disappeared. She is now a very, very successful visual artist in Brooklyn, and she chose to leave acting in Hollywood. Was just like, yeah, I'm just not going to subscribe to these ridiculous standards.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, so
she's also in a movie called Joyride, which is like, I love it.
Paul
Walker and Steve Zahn.
Even I like Joyride.
Yeah,
I don't even like those type of movies.
Yes, fabulous.
Candy cane.
Yes, so good. And like, was low-key scary. Yeah.
I mean, that's everyone's worst fear, to be chased around by somebody in a semi.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would do just about anything with Paul Walker, including that.
Oh my gosh, just gorgeous. Yeah.
But also Michael Vartan is kind of a similar story because he also kind of disappeared from acting, where like he was getting famous and bigger roles, and then he just kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of chose to like go the producer route and like was just kind of tired of acting for the same reasons, I'm sure. But a funny thing about Michael Vartan is, so Drew Barrymore has a talk show now.
Yes.
And recently he was on the talk show and told this weird story about how at the end of the movie, when they're having their first kiss on the pitcher's mound, that he got a boner.
What? Why would you say that?
He finally revealed, he was like, yeah, I don't think I ever told you this, but we went to do that acting kiss and like you really went for it. You like really kissed me. He's like, and then we had to cut and I had to like pretend that I had like thrown out my back or something to cover up the fact that
He could have You could have kept that to yourself, maybe.
I was like, what a weird story to tell on a national television show. Anyways. Okay, so never been kissed. So Josie Geller, she's a brainy, nerdy, dorky copy editor. She gets a big break to go undercover at a high school to get the new hot story. She spends this whole time undercover trying to bust a story, and it ends up she becomes the story. And it ensues this romance with one of her teachers, and in the end, of course, she ends up getting the guy, the teacher. So lots of different themes here going on because obviously, you know, she is an adult, but she's going undercover as a teenager.
Right.
So that's kind of like the main conflict here.
Right. Nobody at the school knows.
Yeah. But, everybody she works with knows, and only a few people that she works with, her work friends, know that, like, it's revealed early on that she's never even been kissed.
I just want to read what she says when she tells them that she's never been kissed, and they're like, what? It really is a good example of the way that we expect women to, like, idolize getting their first kiss and, like, getting the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so she says she never experienced that moment. Because she does say, like, doesn't she say, like, I mean, I had a kiss, but not, like, it was not, like, the kiss.
Yeah.
And she says that moment when you kiss someone and everything around you becomes hazy and the only thing in focus is you and this person, and you realize that person is the only person that you're supposed to kiss for the rest of your life. And for one moment, you get this amazing gift and you want to laugh and you want to cry because you feel so lucky that you found it and so scared that it'll go away all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, it just sets up, like, this completely unrealistic ideal for what romance is.
And what a first kiss
Yeah.
should be. And it's also like, this would never be a scene with a man saying something like that.
It also sets up this idea of waiting. Like, she's waiting for a man to find her and choose her and kiss her.
Yes.
And there are scenes after this where, she's at home, she's knitting pillows, she puts the pillow on the bed, and there's 30 other pillows. It's like she's not going out and actively trying to find someone to kiss. She is sitting at home in her tower waiting for her Prince Charming to come find her.
Yes.
So it is very established that, like, that is what women are supposed to do.
Yes.
And if they don't subscribe to not normal beauty standards, it's never going to happen.
Right. Yes.
Like,
and I feel like, too, there's this, like, purity about her that's a juxtaposition against Anita's character, who's, like, very, quote unquote, promiscuous, and is, like, always talking about hooking up with the guys, and she's into Roger and Op-Ed at the office, who is the guy from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's these two tropes of women.
Yeah.
It's the promiscuous woman in the office, and then the pure frumpy girl who's idolizing her first kiss and sitting around, like you said, waiting for her Prince Charming to come.
So then they go into the conference room, and, like, we meet Gary Marshall, who's the CEO. He fires somebody immediately and then just randomly points at Josie and is like, you're the next undercover reporter. Come up with a story. Go find it. And she's ecstatic and she's all excited. Then she gets back to her office, and John C. Reilly and Anita are immediately like, don't worry. You don't have to
take care of it.
Like, and try to talk her out of it. And she does convince them, like, no, I can do this. I want to do this. So she gives herself a makeover. She goes to the Tiki Post. That's where we meet Rob, who is her 23-year-old brother. It's David Arquette. And so she goes there because she wants to trade cars with him, because she thinks that her Buick LeSabre is not going to be a realistic car, and she needs his, like, beater 70s El Camino with a bad paint job. And, like, it's the first time where she's like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot high school was really bad.
Yeah.
Like, high school was horrible for me. Right. And he's kind of trying to also, again, convince her not to do it. She goes to the bathroom, she pukes, and that's where we have, like, our first full real flashback of Josie Grossi. And it's the part where she goes to approach Billy. She's walking up through the hallway, and somebody pours Sprite in her backpack. She approaches Billy to give him notes that she wrote for him while he was out of
He missed
school.
class. Yeah.
And that Sprite then has leaked through her backpack and is falling in between her legs, and it looks like she's peeing. And everyone's laughing and like she's humiliated. And that's the flashback where we meet Billy, and where it's like, oh yeah, high school was really, really bad. And she wasn't just a dork, but people were like aggressively making fun of her. And that whole meeting with Rob too, it's also revealed that like Rob is just that type of person that everyone immediately loves and likes, and is inherently cool. And I think there is a little bit like of a gender role there too, where it's like men are just, there's an implied coolness, like,
and an implied likability.
Like, women have to work for it. Men are just given it.
They're just accepted.
Yeah.
As part of the crew.
So it's her first day undercover. She gives herself sort of a makeover, but she looks awful. She has this white pants and jacket with like a boa, like a white boa
feather
cuff.
boa. Yeah.
She looks insane. And she immediately, walks up and tries to say hi to the three cool girls, Kirsten, Kristen, and Gibby.
Yeah.
And of course, they immediately are mean to her and say, that is so sad. Like 5 chickens had to die just so she could look that stupid. And it's our first taste of internalized misogyny in the movie, which, is prevalent, obviously, in real life and in rom-coms. So
yes.
She goes to her first class, and we meet our new, this day and age, hot guy. So she walks in, she's late. She has to wear the sombrero of shame.
Yeah.
And then as she's introducing herself, the door opens and she sees who she thinks is Billy. There's like a mirage. Old hot guy Billy. It's actually Guy, the new hot guy. Where we get one of our favorite lines. She goes, Billy? She's saying where she's from, and the teacher's like, you're from Billy? She's like, Billy, but Billy Bali.
It's a suburb of Bali proper.
I mean, really great one-liners all throughout the movie. So, that she sees Guy, she's taken with him. She's like, oh my gosh, hot new guy. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But then she goes to her next class, the English class, and where we meet Mr. Coulson, who's the young, cool, hip teacher who immediately tries to establish himself as cool by introducing himself as Sam. We also meet Aldous, who is Lily Sobieski, who she immediately invites her to sit next to her. She shares her book. She befriends her, no questions asked, without any judgment of, what
the
she
feather
looks
boa.
like. Or, And then there's also in this scene, they're talking about Shakespeare. Mr. Coulson, he asks a question. Josie answers it, of course, with a very correct and mature and eloquent answer. And he says, are you sure you're 17? She goes, I'm 17. I'm 17. So it's, her young age is established. He knows she's 17, although he is just completely taken by this.
He's very enamored with her. Yeah, it's very obvious. She's
smitten.
Saying that answer, and he's immediately like, enamored with her. Yeah.
So we move on. There's a lunchroom scene where she tries to get in with the popular girls. She immediately spills chocolate milk in her lap, which is hilarious. What's your hopes and dream? They're just like, no. Also, she walks up to this conversation where Kristen says, Kirsten, that bran muffin has like 75 grams of fat. So it's like that kind of language is just embedded all over in rom-coms. You know? And it's just so crazy how even though those girls were kind of mocking them through the whole movie because they're like the dumb girls. Yeah. They're still like that kind of language and behavior, even if it's mocking, it just seeps into your consciousness.
Oh, absolutely. It's still impactful. It's still influential. Yeah. And also, in 1999, when we were 13, you don't know when something is satirical and making fun. You know what I mean? You don't know the difference.
Yeah, you still know that they're cool and hot, and she wants to be cool and hot.
Yeah. You don't pick up on the nuances of making fun of that. It's same with Clueless. It wasn't until we were older that you
exactly.
It still is very impactful.
Yeah, the hierarchy is still very, very obvious.
Yes,
and it's who you want to be. And who it's easier to be, honestly, because you may want to be the nerd and it pays off in the end, but it's a lot easier to just subscribe and fit
a
in.
lot less painful.
Yeah, exactly,
for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this scene also is of note though, because she sits down and then Guy walks up and she stumbles over her words. And then she goes, yikes, bikes, which is one of our all-time best lines. We say yikes bikes.
We've definitely said yikes
time.
Bikes on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
Plenty of times.
Absolutely, for sure. And then again, after this scene, Aldous, befriends her. She invites her to be in the Denominators, which is the math club, which she accepts, and they start hanging out.
How are you at calculus? Pretty good.
So she's making a genuine friendship with Aldous. Like, not just, it's not even like I'm pretending to be your undercover friend.
Yes.
It's like a true friendship.
Connection.
Yeah.
And Aldous has a rolly bag backpack, which
yes.
I just had to make a little note of that.
Yes.
Those were a hot thing.
They really were. And
for
it
a minute.
was a real sign of nerdiness, for sure. Somebody made it was like, kids are going to love this. And it really backfired. Like 2% of kids loved it.
Yeah, some kids did love it.
I know. 2%. Yeah. So then we go back to English class. They're talking about this Shakespeare play As You Like It. And then Mr. Coulson really emphasizes in this scene, like, a disguise and how if you wear a disguise, it's easier to find love when you're not scared of being your true self, which is obviously a direct parallel to what is actually going on. And then we get to flashback 3, which is the poem scene.
And I just want to say before you get into this that this scene is giving me in 1998 my poems.
Yeah,
I was writing these poems, guys. I wasn't reading them out loud in front of the class. I waited until 25 years later, and then I read them on the internet. But
yeah. So we get flashback 3, which is she's in high school at the front of the class reading a poem that is supposed to be written anonymously about somebody, but she's staring right at Billy, and the whole class is stickering, and she's just being so sincere about it. Does he notice me? Does he even know? This unrequited love that she's not sure, but it ends with, if I could just get one kiss, and then everybody's laughing. And then we cut to a scene where her friend runs into the library where she's studying and is like, you'll never believe. What have you always dreamed of? And she's like, that Billy loves me and wants to kiss me. And she's like, yes. And he's asking you to prom. And of course, she just believes it.
No,
it's so
that's
heartbreaking. She's just like, oh my God, I've been waiting. And she's like, the poem worked.
Yes.
She's like, I knew the poem would work. So you see this kind of setup of like, oh, this sweet, earnest girl, like you said, is just going to get,
it's not going to end well.
Destroyed. Yeah. So then we go to prom setup and we get the Totally Rufus scene, which is another great slogan that we just have to call out. It's Guy, it's all of his dumb friends, and they're talking about going to the cool hangout, and he's like, it's going to be Totally Rufus. And they're like, what's Rufus? And you're like, it's a new slang. Spread it like wildfire. And you're like,
and then they're all like, Rufus! Totally Rufus! It's so cringe and bad, but so great.
Yeah, because I feel like it's purposely cringe.
Yes!
Like they're making fun of them.
Yes.
Purposely over the top.
Again, not a subtlety you notice as a 12-year-old girl, but as an adult, you're like, yes.
It does
hilarious.
make me wonder, like, what the director note was. Or just like, yes, be the most annoying popular kid you could be. Because, like, they really nailed it, where it's like,
they did. And for Jessica Alba only being 17.
Yeah.
I mean incredible acting, really.
So that scene ends and we go back to the office, and Gus, her boss, she's real-time Josie now, and she's getting a lot of pressure because they're like, where's the story?
Because she's been kind of calling in with little like, cafeteria food, and they're like turning everything down, like, Josie, no, this isn't it.
Like a story, like a real story. And she's just like, because she can't break in because she's not cool,
right?
And like she can't write a story about what the dorks are doing. Nobody cares about the denominators. So she's getting a lot of flack.
No one cares about the denominators. No one cares about the mathletes.
She's getting a lot of flack, and that's when Gus throws down this paper, and he's like, these are the kids you need to be making friends with and writing about. The pressure's on. She's feeling it. She has to figure something out.
I thought it was interesting, and I don't think it's something that you would see today. In that scene, the way that John C. Reilly screams at her with the paper and she like falls off the chair Like just how aggressive he is towards her. I don't think you would see that male to female today in a movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, feel like workplace dynamics are like a completely different thing.
In like a comedy situation, like man to man, but it was very aggressive, and he's like screaming at her and like right in her face, and she falls off the chair, and it just, and
she just takes it.
Yeah, she takes it.
She's just like, oh yeah, he's allowed to do
and
that.
And he's a total hothead, screaming and stuff, kind of the whole movie. So just an interesting dynamic that I don't know that we would have today.
Yeah, no, good point. So we go back to Josie's house after this. Rob's there, and she's kind of lamenting to Rob about, like, I don't know what to do. She hands Rob the newspaper with the picture of Kirsten and Gibby, and he goes, damn, these are high school girls. Kind of has a little bit of a speech. Damn, these are high school girls? We've got some underage hotties on our hands, which is just like...
Wouldn't say that.
Totally, yeah. But at the time, like,
romanticizing it almost.
Oh, 100%. Almost like it's a compliment. Like, oh, look at these hot young girls. Like, and I mean, that really was just like acceptable language.
Acceptable, yeah. I mean, obviously, we know this entire movie could not be made today.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I said, I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I was like, damn, I forgot about that line.
Yeah. Underage hotties on our hands.
Yeah.
Like, which, you know, Rob's kind of like the bum brother, but still just like,
you're putting the message out there that that's an extremely acceptable thing to say in 1999.
Yeah, and it's also like women should be grateful for that to be said about them. Yeah. So it's also in this scene where we learn that Josie tells him what high school she's going to, and Rob's like, oh, they have a great baseball team, because he used to be a baseball player. And so they were talking about, you know, how hard it was for Josie at high school. And he's like, you don't have to be Josie Grossi anymore. And he's like, say it. Say, I'm not Josie Grossi anymore. And she screams, I'm not Josie Grossi anymore. And she screams it just with such passion and unabandoned. It's just like so funny and really endearing. You're just like, oh, she needed to get that out.
Yeah.
And Rob tells her, you only need one person to think you're cool.
And then you're in.
Yeah. And,
this is where it gets solidified that Rob was cool in high school. Because she says something like, it was easy for you, Rob.
So then it's just kind of left that, like, that's her turning point. And she's just going to take a new approach. So she goes back to school.
She's not Josie Grossi anymore.
Yeah. And she's just going to change her perspective and walk in with confidence. She's walking into school, and there's a van parked outside. And she walks past it, and we meet George. Because George is driving the van. And he's like, Josie and the Pussycats, or whatever he says. And George works at the newspaper. He's been sent by Gus without Josie's knowledge. So he pulls her into the van. They put a little hidden camera pin on her sweater.
And this was like high tech for 1999.
Oh yeah, there's like TVs in the van.
I remember being like, what? She's going to have a camera? And then you can hear Gus?
Yes.
And you're like, wait, what?
The premise is everything Josie does is going to be recorded. It's going to live feed to the van and then also live feed back to Chicago Sun-Times. The point being, so Gus can review everything she does and find the story. Because obviously Josie...
He's lost faith in her.
Yeah, Josie is incapable of doing that. But also, there is a moment of objectification by George. Because... she starts to walk in, and the first shot on her thing is of Kirsten, Kristen, and Gibby's butts, and he comments like, "Damn, I didn't write down exactly what he says."
George just says something like "damn" or something, and then at one point Gus says they didn't look that good when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't write down what George said either. I don't know that he really said anything. It was more just like
like a noise,
an acknowledgement at their butts.
Yes. So, you know, a lot of male gaze happening here, a lot of objectification from every angle. And keep
in mind, they're all high school students, and these are all adult men.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And this is where, like, a slow shift starts to begin, where, like, she has to get serious about getting in with the cool kids. And then Josie catches wind of this party going on. This scene is so wild. This party going on. It's like a Rasta party at a club somewhere, I guess, like an all ages club.
I guess
that like just all end up. She gets this flyer.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
And she's like, "Yes, I gotta go." So she shows up, and she's just like all jazzed, being her dorky self, like over eager and just like saying hi to everybody. All the cool kids are there. And then Mr. Coulson and his girlfriend show up.
Yeah.
Drinking beers.
Well, because they do the stamp.
Yeah, they do she gets a stand to go in that says "Deluser."
Because they're like, are you drinking tonight? And this is just how earnest she is, too.
Yeah.
They don't even card her. They literally just say, are you drinking tonight?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I am only 17 years old. And they stamp this deluser stamp on her hand.
So she goes into this club. Mr. Coulson's there drinking beers around all of his students. That would never happen in real life.
No, it's a very strange scene. Like, I don't know why. I guess they just had to have a scene where they like ran into each other in the wild.
Yeah. I feel like they're also trying to establish like what's going on in his personal life, because you do meet his girlfriend and she's like off-putting and he seems a little embarrassed. So it's like trying to establish that like it's not working for him.
Yes.
You know, he's not.
There's trouble in paradise.
Yeah. He wants someone that's more intellectually aligned with him as opposed to just this like, you know, corporate go-getter.
Yes.
So
he wants a Shakespeare love connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're all hanging out. She sits down next to these Rastafarian guys, and they offer her this piece of ganja cake, which she doesn't realize is ganja cake, obviously. Yeah. And she's just like, oh, cake! I love cake! Downs it, and then she's like super stoned, and the Rasta guys are annoyed with her, and she ends up like going on stage, dancing, acting a fool, and like of course Mr. Coulson's attracted by that too.
Loves
she's like,
it.
look, she's just such a free spirit. She can just like, you know, have fun, have a good time too. She's perfect.
Can I say one thing I noticed about this scene that I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Did you notice Jessica Alba and the blonde girl, the cultural appropriation with the hair?
Yeah. I know.
Jessica Alba has a fro, and the other girl is wearing braids.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
And like kind of obvious. I mean,
yes.
I guess at the time, I think they were like, yeah, we're at a Rasta party.
I know.
That's what we do.
I know.
Like, it wasn't great. So different about it. Yeah. And I mean, Jessica Alba she's Latina, but like that's an afro.
It wasn't a full on afro. Yeah.
So she gets home. She's stoned. She's eating a pie, and she passes out on her kitchen counter. She wakes up. It's 8 a.m. She's in a super hurry. She's like, oh my God, I have to get to class. She rushes off to school. She's feeling good. Like she's feeling like, I had a great time last night. I was having a ball. Everybody was loving me. You know, I was killing it. And she's walking down the hallway, and she had fallen asleep on her hand, and the stamp had come off on her forehead. So, but just the loser part. So it says loser really big on her forehead. She's walking through the hallways, and everybody's like, loser, loser, ha ha ha. Laughing. She runs to the bathroom, and it brings up this last flashback.
Gosh.
Which is the real pinnacle of the traumatic experience. So as you remember, Billy asked her out to prom. She was like, finally. So you see her at her house in high school.
Heartbreaking.
She has this ridiculous pink dress on. She's so excited. Her parents are inside. Billy's coming to pick her up.
She also has these like crazy dorky braces.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, the dork level is like, to 100. Like they're really phoning it in. But she's so excited. Billy calls. She's like, I'll be right there. Meet me outside. Rolls up in a limo. Billy gets out of the sunroof, and then his real date comes out of the sunroof. And then...
Well, and he comes out of the sunroof with what looks like a white flower, like a white rose.
And then what's actually in his hand is an egg. And they egg her like multiple times, which is just like...
And the
crazy
sound she makes when the egg hits her, you guys, obviously you've probably seen it. If you haven't, it is gut-wrenching and so sad.
It's really sad. I mean, they did a really good job of just
nailed this scene.
I know. And like, if I'm sure something like this has actually happened.
Oh, for sure.
Like, can you imagine?
No.
It would be ruined for life.
It's terrible.
I don't know how you come back from something.
No.
I mean, that will follow you for the rest of your life. And it has, obviously.
Yes.
That's why she's never been kissed.
Yes.
You know? So she's freaking out after, you know, the loser thing. And then she runs into Rob. And she's like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I just enrolled in high school with the fake ID I made at the Tiki Post. She's like, I'm going to use that as my in to community college. She was like, that's insane. Like, you don't understand how hard it is here. Cut to the next scene where he's in the cafeteria, like pouring coleslaw over himself and everyone's chanting his name, and immediately he's popular.
Yes.
Like, it took him one day for everyone to just be like, Rob's the absolute best. So he starts spreading rumors, good rumors, about Josie to all the popular people, and of course they just eat it up, and it works.
Yeah, it's exactly what he said. It just takes one person
to think you're cool, and then you're in, and it's true. And all it takes is one dude to like you, and then
yes,
you're
it takes
in.
one man to vouch for you and validate you. Because one of the ways that he does it is by saying that he dated her.
Yes, yeah, I know, which is also really freaking weird.
Yeah.
We have one last scene. They're planning prom. They do this prom fundraiser carnival. One most important scene with Mr. Coulson where they ride the Ferris wheel together, where he is talking to her and he gives her a compliment like, guys will line up for you. And she responds, you have to say that because you're my teacher. And he says, I shouldn't say that because I'm your teacher. So he's fully aware that his feelings for her are inappropriate, but he doesn't care. He persists anyways.
Yeah.
And the guy eventually asks her to the prom, which is like history repeating itself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think she's a little bit hesitant at first, but is also excited. And it's just like, great, you know.
And in that scene, they're like at a house party, and Rob has sort of adopted this 16-year-old girlfriend at the high school.
Yeah, it's another thing. The inappropriate age relationships, it's not just the one.
So there's this 16-year-old girl who likes Rob and like clings onto him, and they're like flirting and stuff. And then they're all at a house party when Guy like approaches her to ask her to the prom, and she's scolding Rob about the 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Josie's like, Rob, she's 16, yada, yada, yada. And then Guy comes up and he's like, Josie, can I talk to you? And Rob goes, whatever. See you later, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's double standards happening all over the place because also, you know, Josie's doing the exact same thing.
Right. And there's definitely a little bit, even though like the real romantic interaction is going on between her and Mr. Coulson, she's like salivating and a little enamored with Guy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happening too.
100%.
Yeah.
I think the feelings she has for Mr. Coulson aren't realized at this point.
Yes.
And I think she thinks, no, he's just being nice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, she's not picking up on it as like flirty.
No.
Yeah.
So then we get to the point where Gus insists this is who the story is about, and we get to prom night, where this is kind of like the total climax, where like she's going with Guy, they dress as Rosalind and Orlando, the whole group shows up, and at this point, Aldous and her are basically not friends anymore. Yeah, because she has ditched Aldous enough times where she's been like, oh, okay, you're just one of them.
Yes.
Like, got it.
There goes another lemming.
Yeah, like we're not friends anymore. So, you know, and you can tell she really feels bad because she doesn't like the popular girls. Right. You know, but she does feel, I think, she likes to be accepted.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping to heal that trauma from her high school experience.
You can tell she's kind of torn because I think she likes being accepted and being in the cool group, but then I think she also feels like
she knows she doesn't really belong. Yeah. Like she belongs with the Aldises.
Right, exactly. And she doesn't ever want to hurt. She didn't ever intend to hurt her.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's her perfect fantasy prom night, but like things start to come out where it's like Guy is dumb, you know, he just keeps talking about his sword. Like Josie's slowly starting to realize like these people suck.
There's no substance here.
Yeah, like I don't want to be friends with them. So they're doing the announcements. Josie and Guy are named prom king and queen, of course. And they have their first dance. And you could tell this prank is starting to take place with Aldous, where it's like history repeating itself yet again. Sam cuts in, and Sam and Josie start dancing together. Again, would never happen at a school dance. Your teacher would dance with you in front of everybody, and just nobody even notices. So weird. But like while that dance is going on, Guy has gone up to Aldous and has asked her to dance. And she, of course, just immediately buys into it and is like, oh, okay.
The way she like whips the thing off.
I know, when she's wearing that one
piece like
So
suit.
weird.
Because like the whole prom theme is like meant for each other. It's supposed to be like famous couples. So the dorks show up as the double helix.
Yeah.
And so they have these weird like condom suits on. And she like whips it off and she has this like skin tight onesie on. And it's so dramatic and like
He's like spinning her around in a really weird way.
Yeah.
So like while he's distracting her with dancing, the other cronies are in the corner opening a can of Alpo, wet dog food, and they're going to throw it on her. And Josie catches wind of it, sees it out of the corner of her eye, and just in time as they're about to fling it on her, she interjects and like it flies all over the place and lands on the popular girls and not Aldous. So then there's this huge confrontation and, you know, Josie stands up finally to the popular girls and all the popular people and is like, this is all a fake. This is all a ruse. You only liked me once my brother, Rob, you know, told you to. And it's finally revealed that she's undercover. This has all been fake. Mr. Coulson, of course, is
storms out.
I was like, oh, what? Yeah. And so she runs out and then there's a little bit of confrontation with, you know, Gus runs up because I guess he's been watching the live feed.
Yeah.
He's the man
out of nowhere.
He runs outside after Mr. Coulson and Gus just comes up and is like, Josie, what, did you get the story on Coulson? Of course, Coulson's right there. So she goes up to Sam and is like, you were going to write a story on me? And she's like, no, of course not. Like, I couldn't. And
Let's just get to know each other.
yeah. And Sam says, Mr. Coulson says, I just can't look at you the same. It's like, really? The same? Because I'm not 16 or 17 anymore?
Right.
Like, yeah, I hope you can't look at me the same because, surprise, I'm not a teenager.
I know.
I'm like, this is where the story just gets really infuriating because everyone is mad at Josie.
Right.
And like...
And it's like, no, you're the creep.
Yes. And also the scene that really chaps my ass and that even pissed me off when I was a teenager was like, so Sam leaves and she goes home and then she gets home and Rob is waiting at her fence. And Rob is mad at her.
I know.
Rob's like, you always think of yourself, Josie.
As if that was ever going to work.
Exactly. And it's like, also, you used her to get into that school.
Yeah.
That crazy scheme.
Yeah.
And like now it's her fault? Like, are you crazy?
No, I know. I always
She's
hated that
the
part
selfish
too.
one? Are you kidding me?
I know.
Now Gus is mad at her.
Yeah.
Mr. Coulson's mad at her. All the men hate her, of course, because they're whiny babies and they just can't ever seem to figure it out for themselves. She finally is just like, what am I going to do? I have to figure this out. I have to make sure all these men like me. How do I get their love and affection back? She comes up with this plan. She goes to work and they're all scolding her. And she's like, I will get you your story.
You will have the best story.
So she finally is just like, she's finally not Josie Grossi anymore for real.
Yes.
And she goes on a tirade. She gets a suit on. She marches in and she's like, strikes a deal with the baseball coach and is like, if I have a bunch of reporters here at this game, will you give me 5 minutes? And he was like, you can have whatever you want. So she writes this amazing story article.
Yeah, that's what she says. You will have an amazing story.
So she writes this very heartfelt story that they publish in the paper. And she's just hoping he reads it.
Right.
But there has to be one last little, like, will it or won't
caveat.
it?
Yeah.
So she goes. She's looking beautiful, of course. She's fully transformed. She is the butterfly.
Yes.
Fully
Metamorphosis complete.
Yeah. She goes and she stands in the pitcher mound.
And everyone's rooting for her now, too.
Oh, yeah. Now everyone's fine.
The popular people are rooting for her. Lily Sabeth. All the denominators are there. Everyone's backing her.
Because everyone's read the article.
Everyone's read the article.
Everyone reads the paper and they're like, oh my God, if only I had, thought twice about this person's feelings for once.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's pretty now.
Yeah, and she's pretty, so she's likable.
Right.
Exactly. So she's sitting on the mound, everyone's like, oh no. And then she's so sad, and then, oh, the crowd. And he's just a few minutes late.
Yeah.
And he comes up and gives her, the perfect kiss.
Yes.
And pops a boner, apparently.
I mean, honestly.
And that's it. That's the happy ending. She finally got her kiss, and it was everything she had hoped for. I mean, she had to work pretty damn hard for one freaking kiss, but
yeah,
she was picked in the end. She had to be shamed first, of course.
Oh, for sure.
And scolded, but yeah, eventually he did come around, and she was happy to have him.
She was happy to have the would-be pedophile.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously could not make that movie today.
Yeah.
Very problematic in the way it just normalized men lusting after underage girls.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't watch it and enjoy it.
We are being critical.
Yes.
But it is one of my favorite rom-coms.
Yes.
So many great one-liners.
Watched it so many times.
Makes great fun of teenagers and, that kind of like popularity high school class system. And, it is just nice to watch these movies with a different adult lens now and also kind of sad to be like, man, there is a little part of me that's like that though. Partially due to all these movies of just like, yes,
yeah,
I'm waiting for that like perfect romance.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. I feel like, do we want to go into points or do we make our points while we were talking about the scenes?
The only thing I do want to say is I did have some comparisons to Ridgemont High. I was just thinking about it because Cameron Crowe actually did this, and it made me wonder, what kind of interactions was he having with the 15 and 16-year-old girls as a 23-year-old guy? And it's funny because we talked about the incident in which Stacy was involved with the older man, in the movie. But for some reason, we didn't make the connection when we were talking about it that he was actually in the high school as a 23-year-old with these underage girls. And the fact that it was allowed because the principal knew.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of wild. And I wonder if that has something to do with him owning all the rights to the book.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So anyway, that came up while I was watching this. Like, wait, that was real when he did it.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway,
yeah. So it's a good watch. It's super fun, and a lot of great one-liners. Although there are, plenty of problematic points.
yes, for sure.
Cool.
All right, should we grape and gripe?
I don't know if I said this one already. I love having my windows open. It's like the best season where it's like still cool out. Like that 2 weeks we get of like cool enough weather to have your window open. But all of the air conditioner units are like right below my window. So it's like, fresh air. And then just like, the whole time. Just like, God damn it. Okay. This is so nice.
Yeah, that's funny. My mom made them give her a different apartment. Like when she was looking at the apartments,
really?
Yeah, she noticed that all the air conditioners were outside, and she was like, "No, I don't want this one."
Good call though,
because she likes to have her windows open a lot.
Yeah.
And she's one of those people that will have them open when it's 85 degrees. Like she doesn't get hot.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have if I would ever think that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have clocked that when I was looking at an apartment, but good call.
Okay, my gripe is going to, not too long ago, you griped something about yourself that you do that annoys you. And so now I have a gripe that's something I do that annoys me. And that is that I take all of this time to write grocery lists and then I leave them in the car every single time. And then I go into the grocery and there's a 50-50 chance that I might go back to the car and get the list. I'll get into the grocery and be like, shit, and then go back and get the list. 50-50 shot. The 50% of the time that I don't do it, though, I'm like, I wrote it. I know what's on it. I can remember it.
Yeah.
I inevitably forget something. And then there is a 0% chance that I will go back into the store to get the thing I forgot.
So.
Yeah,
I do like handwriting a list, but I do grocery lists strictly on my phone now for that reason.
So that you don't forget it.
I would never. I was getting to 95% of the time forgetting it. So
yeah.
It's just
I know.
Yeah. My grape. What's my grape? My grape goes out to silk pillowcases.
Nice.
Especially this time of year. They're so cold.
Are they?
Oh, they're so nice.
That.
Yeah. It's actually really great for your skin and hair. And then also it's so refreshing because it's
I've heard that. I've heard satin too. I've heard you could do either one.
Yeah.
I might look into that.
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
It made a huge difference with my hair.
Did it?
Yeah. It's not nearly as frizzy. No, I think they work.
Yeah. My grape, I've graped them before, but I'm graping them again. It's going to the vacuum center. My vacuum was having a little malfunction. I took it in and the guy just fixed it right there. Didn't charge me. It took him 11 minutes to fix it. And they're just wonderful. And when you have a local place like that with such good service, it's just great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Not many businesses like that anymore.
No, there's not. It's fabulous.
Amen.
All right.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.